A prosecutor's lobby just moved to end the Clarity Act, the rules that decide what XRP becomes. Their rewrite strips criminal protection from the people who built the XRP Ledger. Senator Cynthia Lummis just refused it. On the record, what exactly would XRP builders lose? 11 months of closed-door talks snapped overnight. The Senate's last scheduled floor date, August 7th, 8 days away. If you hold 1,000 XRP, about $1,000, this fight decides what those coins become in America. I'll read you Lummis' exact words. Like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you want more XRP news. Let's roll the tape.
When I was elected to the Senate in 2020, I knew I wanted to work on digital asset legislation because Wyoming's legislature was already years ahead of Washington, building a legal framework for digital asset companies before most of the country was even paying attention. I wanted to do everything I could to keep those companies in Wyoming, and more importantly, to keep them in America.
That is the woman holding the line. Now meet what she's holding it against. This is your XRP news today, and it starts with a quiet rewrite. Overnight, I read journalists Eleanor Terrett's breakdown of what the new proposal actually does. It would remove the Lummis-Grassley amendment from the Clarity Act framework. That amendment is the shield for people who build the XRP Ledger. Under it, a coder only faces criminal charges if he specifically set out to help launder money. Write code, stay safe. The new proposal deletes that protection. Right here, you'll see the exact reporting. Let's dive in. On the latest proposal from Senator Cortez Masto and Prosecutors Group, Senator Lummis told me this proposal was not the product of any agreement with me, and it falls short of protecting developers and giving law enforcement the common sense tools they need. But the status quo doesn't work, so we must keep working. The latest proposal would remove the Lummis-Grassley amendment, which clarified that software developers would only face criminal liability if they had specific intent to facilitate money laundering. And Lummis' answer came back in writing. Here it is, word for word. Her answer, and I quote, "This proposal was not the product of any agreement with me, and it falls short of protecting developers and giving law enforcement the common sense tools they need." A sitting United States senator says they built this deal around her, the same senator who wrote the protection they are deleting. The proposal came through Senator Cortez Masto's side of the table, with prosecutors groups behind it, and the author of the Lummis-Grassley amendment was not in the room. But hold on, her next post is the one Washington actually needs. Right here on your screen, the Clarity Act is good for the country, good for consumers, and good for the people we represent on both sides of the aisle. After nearly 11 months of almost everything asked of us, I genuinely don't know what else any Democrat colleagues need before we can act.
This is a very good bill. Good for the country, good for consumers, and good for the people we all represent on both sides of this aisle. And after 11 months of giving nearly everything that was asked of us, I am genuinely struggling to understand what else my colleagues across the aisle think it needs before we act.
Read her words with me exactly as posted. The Clarity Act is good for the country, good for the consumers, and good for the people we represent on both sides of the aisle. After nearly 11 months of giving almost everything asked, I genuinely don't know what else the Democrats need. 11 months, she's handed over concession after concession for 11 months, and the ask keeps moving. That is not a negotiation. That's a stall with paperwork. And the one thing she will not hand over is the shield. So pick a side in the comments right now. Should Lummis hold the line or cut a deal? Let me know right now in the comments to get the Clarity Act vote. Drop hold or deal. Tap the like, subscribe, and notification bell while you're down there. But before you vote, you should see who refused to sign this proposal, because it's not who you think. The latest BRCA front appears to be with prosecutors, not police. Perhaps notably, the National Sheriff's Association, which has publicly opposed the Clarity Act in recent weeks, did not sign into the proposed changes that would remove language shielding software developers from criminal prosecution. Even the sheriffs who fought the Clarity Act would not sign this thing. The National Sheriff's Association has opposed the Clarity Act in public for weeks, and Terrett reports they did not put their name on this new law proposal. A rewrite pitched as law enforcement's ask could not get the sheriffs to endorse it. So who's left pushing? Prosecutors groups and Democrat officers that keep moving the ask. Terrett's reporting puts the newest front with prosecutors, not the police. That is a shrinking team pushing a weaker deal against a senator who just went public. But a stall only dies when it hits a clock, and in 30 seconds you know how many days this stall has left. The clock is your Senate's own calendar on your screen right here. That page says August 7th, and August 7th is only 8 days away. After the state work period, the Senate summer recess runs from August 10th through to a September 11th. The window is tight, and I won't dress it up, but deadlines are where Washington actually closes. Every office stalling the Clarity Act now sits in front of a countdown the whole country can read, and Lummis just put the delay on record in public, and I'll show you the one line of hers that tells you how little time is left before August 7th. The pressure sits squarely on the blockers, keeping XRP waiting. Here there's another important page. Proof the Clarity Act never lost ground in any of this. It has been sitting in the same spot, ready since June 1. Calendar number 423. The Clarity Act parked on the Senate calendar, ready to go. And I'll give you the honest number. Congress shows it was placed there on June the 1st, 59 days without a floor vote. That wait is the whole bear case. And the wait is real. But in those 59 days, the Clarity Act never lost a vote because it's never faced one. Every attack happened in side rooms, and the side rooms keep losing signatures. The moment Majority Leader John Thurn calls the Clarity Act, it is ready, and XRP is the asset, has been waiting on it. And while Washington stalls, watch what the XRP price refuses to do. This is the live XRP chart, and it's not flinching. The XRP price sits right now at $1.07. Tonight, down around 1% over the past day, but it's been steady overnight while all of this broke out. Headline sellers had every excuse today, and they did not show up. So here's where I land. Prosecutors groups tried to pull developer protection out of the Clarity Act, and the senator who wrote that protection refuses in writing on the record. The sheriffs would not sign it. The Clarity Act has not lost a vote. It has not even faced one. And its spot on the Senate calendar is untouched. If you hold 1,000 XRP, the rules that decide what these coins become in America still carry your protection tonight, because one senator did not trade it away. Lummis held her ground for 11 months. XRP holders know exactly how that feels, and both are still standing. Like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more XRP news. I'll see you in the next video.